Hey everyone, this is a spiritual seeker back with another pick a card reading. I hope you're all well. This reading is going to be about what issue from a past life am I still affected by. Many people might have issues in the current life and not realise that they're actually things that they've carried through from previous lives. So we're going to take a look into that today from either pile 1, 2 or 3, and we're going to have a look at how we can overcome this issue from a past life so that we can move forward in the current one. So I'll give you a few seconds to meditate which one you're going to choose, either 1, 2 or 3. So now we're going to just go ahead with the reading. If you chose pile 1, let's see what you got. So we've got baby. We've got the lust card down here. We've got guiding children, indigo and crystal children. We've got the baby card, a lot of children. So let's have a look for you. So in a past life, you were definitely affected by a child. This could have been your own child or someone else's child. You could have had a baby and something could have happened to that baby. You could have been forced into an abortion. That baby could have died during childbirth, or you could have died during childbirth, so you never got to be with the child. Or you could have ended up looking after someone else's child, possibly adopting them, and you really desired this child. This is the lust card, but I'm not going to read it in the traditional way. The lust card is all about desire and want. It's not necessarily about needing a baby, it's about wanting a baby. So I feel like you definitely wanted a child in a past life. It's possible that you couldn't have children in a past life, and that really affected you because you really wanted a child and yet you couldn't have one, or you couldn't have that connection with a child like in that past life, and you'd seen lots of other people having children and connecting with children, because as you all know, back 50 years ago, if you had 6 children, that was like a normal thing. Perhaps you didn't, because you couldn't have children and you were surrounded by all these other parents who had children, then that really affected you, that really hurt you. Because coming into healing messages, your mission in this life is all about guiding children. So you are good at helping, counselling and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So it's possible that you could already be in this profession, or you just feel drawn to children in general. You like babysitting children, working in nurseries, or you like the school vibe, teaching and learning children. And it's possible that the child that you had, if it was that you had a child in that life, was that you actually had an indigo and crystal child, or crystal child, and they were really special to you. There's all different kinds of children. There's rainbow children, each come in a different generation with their own gifts. It's saying you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So it might be that you need to be helping these kinds of children in your current life now, the indigo and crystal children. You might want to work with disabled children, children with learning disabilities, speech disabilities, those sorts of things, to help you move forward. You could either be one way or the other. I feel either in this life you're very passionate about children, you love helping them and you love being around them, or you could be the opposite. You could actually be very distant with children. You might not want children. You might not actually like children in this life, and it's not because you don't like children, it's because it's come from this fear from a past life that you couldn't have this ideal baby, you couldn't have that bond. So it's the fear of the mother or father baby bond. I feel that if it is the case, that's where it's coming from. So surround yourself with children, overcome that fear if there is a fear there that you don't want to be around children. And if you're already working with children, then you're already on your soul's mission path. You're already doing one part of why you're here, and you'll feel really fulfilled from that, and you'll have wanted to do this from a young age. 2 and 4 in numerology. The 2 is all about balance and the 4 is all about stability. So that if you work with children, you'll have more inner balance because you're not fighting with these emotions of like the fear, You're helping children, so you're doing it for a good cause, and you'll find stability in that emotionally, financially, psychologically. You'll get a lot more balanced and stable, because you might have been a little bit unstable and unbalanced because of this situation, and you could have manifested those fears into not being able to have children now in this life. So you might find that if you have been trying to conceive in this life, that it's been very difficult, and it stems from this issue of a baby or child in a previous life. So to get over that, you can work with children, you can be around children, surround yourself in their energy, particularly the indigo and crystal children, because you will help those children. They are more sensitive to the earth's energies. They are here for a purpose, to bring awareness to Mother Earth and, the gifts that they have. So if you work with those, and really try and overcome that fear, or that suppressed fear, because sometimes it does come from the subconscious and not the conscious mind, you will be able to overcome this past life issue and release it in a healthy way, because you could have turned a bad experience that's happened here into a very positive one, where you're now actually helping children and helping them through that. So yeah, so that's the first pile. If you chose pile number 2, I actually picked more cards out for this one. I didn't mean to, but they all came flying out, so that's what we're going to roll with. So we've got the Arts, High Priestess of Spirit, Counselor, we've got Cycles and Rhythms, and we've got the Arts again, so we've got the Arts twice, and we have Bright Future. Right. So in a past life, you were definitely involved in the arts. You could have been a painter, a writer, an author. You could have played music, like the guitar is on the picture itself. You could have been a musician, singer, anything that's like really creative. You could have made mosaics. You could have been a tattooist. Anything that's involves creativity and coming up with ideas. You definitely expressed yourself through this. Express yourself through creative activities. So you definitely did express yourself through the arts, and you might be quite like that now, because the arts is something through people that generally gets carried through quite a lot. I see that a lot in past lives, so that creativity is definitely one of the traits that does get carried through. And we've also got the High Priestess of Spirit. So this was very spiritual for you. So you could have also been involved in psychic readings. I'm sorry about the light, I'm using natural light. 7 is the number of spirituality in numerology. It's the number of the mystics. The 7 days of the week. The world was created in 6 days and God rested on the 7th. There's lots of spiritual questions around the actual number 7 and the vibration that it holds. It is a spiritual number, so perhaps that you were a psychic in a past life, or perhaps that the arts in general, maybe you were just a musician, but you connected to the spirituality through that, whether you knew you were consciously doing that or not. It made you a more spiritual person. You had a lot of spiritual growth with this, because you were allowed to express your creativity quite freely and possibly have a career out of it. It could have been a hobby or a career. But yeah, it definitely connected you to your higher self. It definitely connected you to your intuition, and you might find that if you do more creative things now, if you don't see yourself as a creative person, that you can get connected back to that spirituality of the 7, with 7 being a mystic number. Now, coming on to healing messages for now, there might be a lot of worry, because you might be coming into this career again, because it has been in a past life and it is still affecting you now. So it's possible that you have a creative hobby, and in this capitalist, materialistic world, it's really hard to pull that into a career. So there might be a lot of worrying about that, and this card's telling you, stop worrying, everything's going to be fine. You might actually be trying to get back into these artistic endeavours, and you're finding it really hard to make money out of it, or you're finding it really hard to connect to spiritual guidance through the arts. But it's alright, everything's fine. You will be able to get the financial gain out of it if you are wanting to turn this hobby into a career, or if you're already in the career but it is struggling a bit. Pay attention to the cycles and rhythms. Honour the cycles of your body, energy levels and emotions. Cycles and rhythms is all about circadian rhythms. You know, you have a sleep cycle, an eating cycle, and you might find that you're back in a cycle, like you've already been through this before, you're about to go through it again. You are in a cycle or a rhythm with music. You might be in the rhythm of the moon, like the moon has cycles throughout the month. So honour these cycles and recognise that you are going around in circles with something. Everything's going to be alright, so you don't have to put yourself back at square one every single time you feel that something's going wrong. And another healing message is about the counsellor. So you are a natural counsellor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So you are naturally quite a healing person. You are naturally a spiritual and intuitive person who has got a bright future ahead of you. You just need to take into account these cycles and rhythms. You know, sit yourself down, get a journal. What dreams am I having that are going in cycles? Or do I have any repetitive thoughts or emotions that I'm accidentally manifesting, worry into my life instead of the bright future that's over here? You might actually be in a counselling career, or thinking about doing something quite healing with spiritual work, or you might just be very good at healing people through the arts. If you are a painter, you heal people through your paintings. If you're a psychic medium, you heal people that way. If you are the counsellor, you heal people through your talking therapies. If you're into Reiki, or you know, you heal people through their energy. You are a healer no matter what you're doing, whether it is the arts or something completely different. You are born to be a healer. With the arts coming up twice, you definitely have a hobby in it. You definitely need to express it, but you need to take into account these cycles and rhythms that you're going in if you're finding yourself stuck in these. And you know, once you recognise the cycles and rhythms, you can free yourself from them, because you acknowledge that they're there and you acknowledge how you can change them. But you know, keep going. You definitely have a bright future ahead of you. You definitely are a creative and expressive person. So you know, just roll with it, because even if it doesn't turn into a career, it's still going to give you the spiritual growth that you're here for, and it's still going to help other people. Even if it is just a hobby and you know it's not a career or something that you want to do as a career, you have had it in a past life, and so you will really benefit from doing it anyway. So that's that message. Hope you resonated with that. Now we're going to go on to pile 3. So we've chose this pile. We've got orphan, honesty, sensitivity, and independent card. Right. I mean, straight away from these cards, what I'm getting is that you have had a past life as an orphan. You might not have actually been an orphan, but you've definitely been abandoned in some way. So you might find that in this current life that you have abandonment issues. You have trust issues with the honesty card. A lot of trust issues and abandonment issues. You might feel insecure. You might be codependent on people, because you know this is a healing message. So that's what you need to work on. And you might be quite sensitive, and you don't really know where it comes from. You might have grown up in this current life with a very, you know, happy and loving childhood, and yet you still feel alone. You still feel abandoned. You still feel like you can't trust people. You're still very sensitive to energy. This card says you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honour yourself and your feelings. You might particularly be sensitive around full moons, particularly sensitive around, you know, certain time periods or certain dates that hold meaning for you from a past life. You might find that every year on October 5th you feel like crying, and then you do a past life regression, and it was October 5th that you got betrayed in a past life. You know, these feelings and these memories, they're all there in your subconscious mind. Sometimes you don't even recognise they're there, but they do pull through. So you've definitely got an issue with that. And what we can do is, you know, these cards are saying become more independent. Don't be codependent and rely on other people, because this is where your trust issues are coming from. If we are always depending on other people and relying on other people for information and, you know, things like that, they're not always going to be reliable, and not everyone is. So if you can already do these things yourself, be confident, do things for yourself, be reliable to yourself and be your own, number one or your own sidekick, then there's no reason to be let down, because we're no longer relying on other people. I mean, yeah, sure, it's fine, we can't do everything ourselves all the time, right? But if you can do most of it by yourself, then that's good too, because you're also learning while you're doing it. So your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So if you become more independent, you aren't going to be feeling all this dishonesty and deceit and abandonment and sensitivity, because you're doing things by yourself, you're learning by yourself, you're growing by yourself. Sure, you can have other people with you, but there won't be these many issues that are coming up from the past, because I feel like you do need some time to retreat, go back into yourself, be okay on your own before you rely on other people, or you needing reassurance from other people. Confidence and independence comes from within, and if you're constantly seeking reassurance from other people, then you're never going to feel fully satisfied or happy in life. You're constantly going to be subject to people's comments, because you rely on their comments and thoughts and feelings to feel good about yourself. So you can release yourself from this sensitivity by feeling good about yourself without the opinion of others, because you are a beautiful person. You've got all this potential for all the yellow and the joy, and she's just relishing in it. She's like, oh, I don't care, I'm just flinging my arms out, got all these shells around me, if I don't even know what they are. I'm an Egyptian queen or princess, I'm not really sure what she is, but you are this magical person, and you don't need the opinion of others necessarily to be confident and independent. And as far as honesty goes, it's always good just to give people the benefit of the doubt, because even if they are lying to you, I mean, it's on them if they do lie to you. And even if they do betray you, it's not your fault, that's on them. That's completely on their behalf. That's nothing to do with you if they are being dishonest. Do not take it personally. Not everyone's going to be honest and reliable. Not everyone's going to stick with you through the thick and thin. But you can still feel good about yourself even if you have been lied to. It's not your fault. These things happen. It is what it is. Not everyone can be like that, unfortunately. But you will find people who are, and that's always really nice. But just give people the benefit of the doubt, because if anyone's going to feel guilty about it, then it's them, not you. That's completely on them. And don't worry about people abandoning you, because like I said here, you're a beautiful person, and if you show that you're independent, then you'll actually draw people to you, but the right kind of people. It's not this, I don't want to say needy, but you're overcompensating with affection because you was abandoned in a previous life, or even in this life. It could be something that's followed through. So you overcompensate people with your affection because you don't want them to feel how you felt, and they're kind of like, oh no. Because you are sensitive, so you are likely empathic. You can pick up on other people's emotions and feelings, but just stand strong on yourself. Learn how to love yourself. People didn't leave you because of you. They left because of their own issues and problems, and that's nothing to do with you. But you can still work on you, even if they're not around you. So yeah, that's what's come through for your past life. And it's possible that you will find some of these issues in your current life, but to get over them, be strong, be independent, be confident, work on yourself, work on your self-loving. Make sure that your foundation is strong before you let anybody else build onto that foundation. But it's not a bad thing to be sensitive. In fact, it makes you even more amazing, because you're connected to everyone's energy, and you can help people and read people, and your experience as an orphan or with dishonesty and lying can actually help other people because you understand other people. So it's actually a great asset to have, and you'll find that people will come to you for advice, and I think that's really nice. So that's how we can heal that. So yeah, that's your reading if you chose pile 3. I hope these readings resonated with you. I am really sorry about the light. It's just, I don't really like artificial light. It just gives me headaches, so I'm just using the light from the window. If you did like this reading, Make sure to like and subscribe. I will be posting more. Let me know what you guys think, what kind of readings that you want in the comments. And if you do want to contact me for a private or personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. So thank you guys, bye.